everyone. Welcome back to Hannah L. Clark's Writing Gems. So it's been a really long time since I've recorded anything, and I'm going to talk a little bit about why today. But for those of you who are just joining us, I'm Hannah L. Clark. I'm the author of the fantasy adventure series called Cobblegoth. Book one, Uncovering Cobblegoth, was released in 2013 through Cedar Fort Publishing, and book two, The Lemurian Crest, was released last August. So, anyway, now that you know who I am, let me talk to you a little bit about, what I want to talk to you about today. And it is how to get out of a creative funk. And the reason why I wanted to talk to you about that today is because that's something that I've been struggling with over the last 4 months, especially. So I released my book the month after I had my daughter. And on top of some other health issues that really kind of drain me emotionally and physically, I have been having some postpartum after having her, and that has really taken its toll on my creativity. Now, just so you know that I'm not the only one, and you're not the only one if you're experiencing this that experiences it. Yesterday, I watched a autobiographical film on Walt Disney, and he had a similar situation in his creative path where he just entered this really dark time. His family had, it was the first time he'd been alone. Like, his family had all moved out to California to help his brother who was sick. And all of his company was failing. All of his friends that he worked with at his Laughs Out Loud. I'm not sure. I can't remember what his original company was called. But they all had to leave the company to go find jobs because the company was failing. So anyways, he was in this really dark time, and it was taking its toll on his creativity. So any author or creator of any kind that you come across, chances are really good that they have experienced this kind of creative funk at one time or another in their career, most likely multiple times. And so I just want you to know, if you're experiencing it, that you're not alone, and it's part of the deal, and that it can come on for any reason. I mean, there's life events that happen, depression, you just get so exhausted from trying to make money in your regular job and do your regular life that you don't have any energy left for your creativity, your writing on the side, which most of us are doing writing on the side. But anyway, so I've been experimenting with a few things over the last 4 months, especially, to try and really kind of take care of myself creatively, so that when this postpartum passes, that I have the creativity, what I need in my creative well to be able to produce art again, or produce my stories again. And so I wanted to share those with you because hopefully they will help, or will inspire you to come up with the thing that will help you in your own creative funks. So first of all, some of the things, just to kind of describe to you what this is like. It's you just, all that flow that was coming, all the flow of ideas and everything that was coming easier, so much easier, story ideas and plot twists and all those things that after you've practiced your craft for long enough just flow naturally because you just have a hang of the story. When you're in a creative funk, they kind of come to a complete stop and stand still. The motivation to create anything is not there sometimes. Sometimes you just worry that you'll never be creative again. There have been moments where I wondered, will I ever write another book, especially in the harder moments of this creative funk. But I'm starting to get, I think, a little bit closer to getting out of it. And I think it's because of the things that I've been doing to really kind of feed my soul, feed my creative side. And us as creators, or artistic people, we tend to be a little bit more, possibly more sensitive, because we feel so much of life, and that's how we create. And so taking care of that emotional, creative side of yourself is really important. So one of the things that I've started doing is I've started developing other talents, because I had a friend tell me once, because when I had entered one of these littler funks earlier on in my career, I'd asked her what she did. She was also a writer. What she did when she entered a funk, and she said that she would go and do start working on a different talent, something else that she loved to do that didn't necessarily have to do with writing, and usually that would really help rejuvenate her to go back to what she wanted to, or to her writing. And so last year, I picked up the guitar and started learning how to play the guitar. And so a lot of times, especially when I'm just not able to get any kind of creative ideas flowing, I'll just play the guitar for a while, and that really helps. One, more than anything, me not feel so frustrated, because while I'm not necessarily creating um, original things with my guitar playing, I'm still creating. Like, I'm still making music, and that not only does it soothe that part of myself that's frustrated because I can't create, but it also builds my confidence because I'm developing another skill um, that is easier sometimes to develop, or to practice than my writing. Another thing that I've been doing is developing, well, another talent or skill that I've been trying to develop is, I've been working on another goal, and another storytelling goal, and one of my storytelling goals has been to write and illustrate a children's book. And so, as you can actually see behind me, these are some of my attempts at learning how to illustrate. And they got to start somewhere. They're not great, but they're getting better. But so I've got a few books, like I've got these manga cartoon books. As you can see, I'm trying to do a little bit of manga just to learn faces and stuff like that, to create my little characters for my story. And then I've got this cartooning book to start figuring out how to do this illustration thing. And then also I've been doing a little bit of Zentangle, which not only is this great to help I'm using it to kind of help me find my style for illustration, but it also is a really kind of meditative art, and that meditation really helps when you're in a creative funk. Whether you're a religious meditator through prayer, or physical through yoga, or whatever you do to meditate, that has really been helpful. I'm really religious, so I do a lot of, I approach meditation in a very religious way, but creatively, this kind of meditation is great as well. But it really rejuvenates and restores that peace that you need to create, and helps also to build confidence in yourself and in your ability to create. So that's another thing that I've been doing. The final thing that I've been really trying to do comes from this book right here called The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. And this book is so great because it's pretty much was inspired by Julia Cameron's own creative funk. She was in a creative funk. She was just not being able to create, I believe she's a writer, create stories and whatnot. And so she kind of went on this, she says, a spiritual path to higher creativity, to be able to kind of restore that creativity, and what she experienced, she put into a book for the rest of us to benefit from. But one of the things that she talks about is taking yourself on kind of imaginative dates. Like, you go out on these kind of individual dates with yourself, where you go and you force yourself to kind of be a child again, and do just fun things. And so one of the things that I've really found that has benefited is, I love Disneyland. I never got to go when I was a kid, and so as an adult, it's kind of my opportunity to kind of go back to being a kid, whether it be through watching my children play and love this place, or just, going. My husband and I just went for our anniversary recently it's just a great place for imagination. I mean, and you can find whatever your version of that is, to just be childlike for a little while. Really, for me, has really helped restore that get those creative juices flowing again. And actually, one of the story ideas that I'm working on right now was inspired. I got the first idea from uh, going to Disneyland first time, and then the second time just started layering on more of the story plot and everything as I was just there to just have fun and be like a little kid again. And so those are some good things that I have found that have been really helpful. And hopefully that, as I've said in most of my writing gems, these are they're not, there's no one right way. I'm just sharing you what has worked for me, sharing with you what has worked for me, and hopefully it will inspire you to find what will work best for you. And that's the great thing about being a creator of some kind, is that there's so much flexibility to be able to find the thing that works for you that, you know, may not work for everybody else. So anyway, I hope that this is helpful. As I said again, this is I've heard so many of my writing friends and creative friends, no matter what no matter what they use to create, talk about being in a creative funk. It's a pretty common thing. So don't feel alone, and please don't panic over it. It's gonna be okay. There have been times, like I said before, that where I wondered for a minute, is this the end? Am I ever gonna write again? And the more I take care of myself creatively and fill this creative well, the more I realize that no, this is gonna pass. I just have to be kind to myself and be patient and find other ways to be creative until I'm ready to create through writing again. And so I hope that this helps you, if for in no other way than to just let you know that you're not alone, and that we all kind of have our own version of these creative funks. And so good luck, hang in there, don't give up, um, and we'll see you on the other side. Thanks for stopping by.